Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Flagstaff Microlite 25 BRDS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a few things taken into consideration when parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that big old awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, besides your slide, which is pretty deep, you've plenty of room for that to come in and out unimpeded. I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power all the way on the rear corner on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. And then your water connection is going to be just above your tire on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing we do is level your unit. And it does come with a night docking light on your power tongue jack in case you arrive at night. All we're going to do is raise or lower this unit until it's level. Now, I do recommend bringing in your slide, finding the center, putting a stick on level there, and have someone watch that while you bring this up and down. You'll get it pretty close to level that way. If for some reason you lose power, underneath that rubber stopper right there is an area for this hand crank to get it up and down. So you can get this up and down if you don't have power. Speaking of power, check your battery when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. Once we get our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of your unit have these 3/4 inch hand crank stabilizing jacks. As I run these down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in summer. Better distribute the weight, keep these from sinking into the ground. So use your 10% off coupon, grab a 4-pack of those, put them down underneath these, run these down with the hand crank in a couple of seconds, or with an impact driver or a drill gun. If you do, when you get to the bottom, slow down, because you're only going to run these until you've got a little pressure on this. Once you get a little hand resistance on this, you're not going to lift the unit. We're just trying to stabilize it. So once we got our unit stabilized, all four corners, we can hook up our power and water. Again, big long 30 amp cord here on the back. Got the locking kind to come in now. They'll go into the left. Once you're in, back this back off. Once you're in, turn it to the right, then put your black washer on. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need, in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. All right, we got our power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. At the campsites, we're going to hook up to this little docking station here where it says city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use this when putting fluid in your unit. Hook that up to your city water connection, hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's go find your hot water heater. Your hot water heater is located just to the left of your entry doorway. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in. Throw a little plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Plumber's tape, 1.25" socket, or 1 1/8" socket. Get that in there nice and tight. Once that's in there, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now, if that hose has been on for a little while, I want you to go inside and open up your slide if you need to. In this case, I think you do, because you got a kitchen sink that has faucets in your slide. So get in there and open up all of your water taps. I need you to get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water. going through them. Once you got a nice steady flow of water going through them, you know that your hot water heater is full and you can turn that on from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping, or boondocking as they call it. In that case, we will fill up our potable water tank or freshwater tank, which is at the front of your unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle or off camp side. Just gravity fill this, no need for a water pressure regulator. Two ways to tell when it's full. One is an overflow valve right there, or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once you see that's full, remove that hose, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water, that's already pressurized. Alright, I'll finish off on this off camp side. Again, your freshwater tank, docking light up here. The freshwater drain down here. This is a manual override crank for your slide. I'll show you that will work. You got this is where you store your power cord, your shore power cord, a few supplies in there, water filter. Here is your griddle and griddle stand. I'll show you where those hook up on the other side. Coming down your off camp side, you do have quite a bit of little storage. You've utilized some space here. Coming to the back, again, your docking station where your city water connect, cable and satellite, your antifreeze inlet. This is where you will do your tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. And then down underneath here is your low point drain. If I can see that underneath there. There they are. Almost directly underneath where it says it. Your short cord power back here. Spare tire cover. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year. Check the seams of your roof. Caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You already have your backup camera installed. Got the spray port hose here that will connect in here. Over here in your outdoor kitchen, you press down on these blue both at the same time. That will bring your griddle out. You connect your griddle stand or griddle hose right there, and then right here is your quick connect. So you pull that down. Push on both of these blues down at the same time in order to get that to close up. And you have your electric fridge out here. A couple outdoor speakers. Prep for a TV out here. Your clamp on here. Cable in 110. Here's where your griddle and stand and table will go on. This is a vent for your furnace. Flue for your furnace. If you're running the furnace, steer clear of it. It does get hot. Make sure you have nothing blocking it. Then your hot water heater. The other side of your pass-through storage has your hitch work and your outdoor table. Backup camera info. Prep for solar. You can plug in a solar panel right here and that will trickle charge your batteries. Your propane does come with a cover. It's on a regulator. Lefty loosey. It'll turn green when you've got gas. That about covers everything on the outside. However, there is a battery disconnect down here. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Now let's go take a look on the inside. Coming up inside the unit, first thing I like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone who's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of emergency. To my left, down here on the bottom is going to be several controls. We'll get to our radio in a minute. Start over here talking about our app. Get the One Control app and you can do just about everything, including your awning, slide outs, and lights from the app, and stand outside and open up your slides or shut your lights off, etc. Down here, codes for your Wi-Fi Ranger. If you're at the back of the camp, that'll help you pick up the Wi-Fi better. Here's where you check your tanks. Your brand new battery. Fresh tank, that's when I said to hold down when filling up your potable water. Black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your Wi-Fi. Turn on your water pump if using potable water. You water heater if hooked to gas, you water heater if hooked to electric. It does make a difference, choose correctly. There's a tank heater, that's a little 12 volt pad that's on your tanks. If you're in inclement weather, you think the tanks might freeze, you can turn that on. Interior porch and awning step lights. Your one slide control and your awning. On your awning, you only want to run your awnings out until you see your flap fall down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. Now these will continue to run themselves out and run themselves up backwards onto themselves if you're not paying attention. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. As I run your awning in, down below that your GP Electric Go Power solar control panel. What this does is it keeps the solar panels on top from overcharging your batteries. So all you have to do is make sure you have the correct battery chose and you are good to go. I'll send you a separate video from them. 110 exhaust. Go ahead and shut our door. Call them slam locks because they work best when slightly slammed. Tire pressure monitoring system, I'll also send you a video from them. Pop up power port here. Television. See if I can quickly locate your remote. Got lucky. There is your tire pressure monitoring system in the drawer here. Send you a specific video from TST. It shows you how to hook the whole thing up. Much better than I can describe it. So there's your television. When you get to different parks, make sure you run a digital channel scan. Go through your menu and run a channel scan to pick up your local channels. Self-explanatory microwave. Below that, a light and a fan. Above your cooktop, this glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Flip that up, rock that up for a panel light. Turn this to high, hit your spark, and once your gas is on, that'll light up for you. Same thing with your oven, no pilot light anymore. Just turn this to light, hit this spark over here, that will light it, and then turn it to the desired temperature. Rock the panel light down for an oven light. The G electric fridge. Controls are in there. Below your fridge is your breaker box and fuses. Handful of 15s in there, a 30, 20, a 40. A little variety, mostly 15s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. You have your bunk areas, ladder for your bunk. You know you can store it, bring this up, lock that in down there for storage. Coming into our bathroom, just want to make sure you do have a hand crank open. Exhaust fan in here with 4 different levels on that. Your sink area here is 110 with GFCI reset. Plumbing to maintain behind this. It's mostly PEX nowadays. You're bouncing a house down the road, so just keep an eye on things. Make sure they haven't wiggled loose over time. Do have an extension here on your kitchen area. Make sure you have it back down before you bring your slide in. Inner hall is our thermostat. Turn that all the way down. Crank it up to cool. There's your AC. Quick dump on those. Shut your AC off. Shuts off quickly. Now I'm going to turn your heat all the way up. Crank that up. Now I'm going to shut the heat off. You'll notice the heat fan continues for a few minutes before it cycles through and shuts off. Allows it to cool off. 110 and your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volts, always running off your battery. So if you are out boondocking, dry camping, and you're going to be gone for the day, use that battery disconnect up front to keep this run your battery down. Table will unlock here, fold down, set on top of these pieces, put your back cushions on top for another sleeping area. There's where you turn your inverter on if you're out boondocking. On this side, a charging station, lights in 110. And now I'll show you how to turn your Murphy bed into a bed. First, you do have recliners on both sides of your sofa and a cup holder. We're going to lift up on this strap. You see it gives you access to your outdoor storage. Lay that down, come up top and unlock these on both sides. Pull everything towards you and lay it down. These straps will keep your bed all made. You have a hand crank open, just a vent here. Now to bring it back up, safety mechanism keeps it locked down, so make sure you pull back on this before lifting it up. See a handle again. And just bring these back up and lock them into place on both sides. Lift our sofa back up. And just that quickly, we're back to a sofa. We do have a smoke alarm above your dinette area. And that about covers everything on the inside. I did not get over your radio. Let's do that real quick. AM, FM, Bluetooth. Let's see if we can pick up anything in this metal building. But 3 different zones. Indoors, to back, or outdoors. So, Bluetooth, AM, FM. TV audio you can run through it, front audio, 2 different HDMIs, continue through, Bluetooth, AM, FM. Several settings, 5-volt charger. Touch it once to mute it, hold it in to shut it off. Alright, now let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to go through and shut off any accent lighting that I know is accent lighting. Everything in the bathroom's off. Then come to my control panel and shut off my interior lights. Now I can see all the accent lights that need to be shut off. Turn back to my control panel. Turn on my interior lights and say doors and drawers. Go through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. You have this down, legs back on the sofa. Come down here and hit slide in. Now I do like to have this table tucked all the way back. And then continue that in. Some people travel with it down. Again, make sure this is in. All doors and drawers are closed. These utilize about every inch. Once that's in, shut off our interior lights. Take a look outside. We're going to shut off our exterior and porch lights. Porch, step, and awning. Exit the unit. Biggest thing to remember on these steps is to make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this will catch on it. You also have adjustable legs. All you have to do is press in on this metal piece here and that will roll forward. Set that up inside. Before you leave the dump station, in case you want to go inside and read your dumps while you're doing them, here is your area to make sure you lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Lift and turn this handle. If we are out boondocking, dry camping, I'm going to come around, get up underneath here, and after that low point drain, that's the freshwater tank. When you're done there, bring up your stabilizing jacks and head on home. If you're at a campsite, We're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to our dump station. Now at the dump station, park your coordinate. Your dump's going to be behind your tires, on your off-camp side, on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull that black handle. Now once the sound like is no longer draining, you can go inside and check your tanks and make sure that black is empty. If it is, leave that black handle open. Come up here with the hose at the dump station, hook that up and let that run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout you just put in there has drained. If it has, go ahead and close that up and then pull your gray handle. While your gray handle is going, I like to get up in here, open up our low point drains. When them are done,